Gentlemen, have you ever felt like no matter how much you do for others, no matter how nice you are, it never seems to be enough? You've probably heard the expression, nice guys finish last. And unfortunately, there's quite a lot of truth to that. I can say this as a guy who spent a good portion of my life being too nice in general, and especially too nice to women. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about how to stop being so damn nice and what to do instead that's still going to feel good for you. Okay, so many men today are stuck in this nice guy trap. That's where you're giving, pleasing, and accommodating, and you wind up finding yourself frustrated, overlooked, and disrespected, especially by women. Today, we're going to talk about a way to break free of this cycle so that you can attract the type of woman that you truly want. And it starts with this subtle difference between nice and kind. Let's start by defining the two. Being nice is about being agreeable, being polite, and avoiding conflict at all costs. It's about saying yes when actually you'd prefer to say no, and doing things that aren't in full alignment for you. Putting others' needs above your own and seeking external validation from others. By contrast, being kind is about acting with genuine care and integrity, and it could mean doing something that's right, even if it's uncomfortable. It's about setting boundaries and prioritizing your own needs, even when it's difficult to do so. The actions could actually look very similar, but there is one subtle difference, and it has to do with how much relative power you have in the interaction. For example, if you're extremely financially well off, then you can help people who are less fortunate with you from a position of power. Your giving in this case is not designed to get something from them, because when you give to people who are less fortunate, you're not expecting to receive anything from them. That is kindness. It's acting from a position of strength. Versus if you were coming from a much less fortunate position and you were giving to others because you felt pressured to do so, or because you wanted something from the other party, then that's different. That's using nice as some kind of strategy in order to get what you want. And people can feel this difference. You've probably had the experience when there's some kind of pushy salesperson, right? And they're just asking you a lot of questions about what you did that day, about what you had for lunch, about your family. And it's not, you don't know them, so it's not really important. And you can just kind of feel that the reason that they're being so nice to you is because what they really want is for you to buy something from them. And I think most of us can relate to that example. Contrast that to when you go into a high-end store or a high-end restaurant or something like that, and they usually approach you in the following way. They're still very pleasant, but they say, "Hi, welcome to Hermes. And if you have any questions about anything, I'll be right over here. Be sure to let me know." Okay? They're still being considerate. They're still being kind. But in this case, they know that what they have to offer is valuable. And so they're not desperate for your approval. They're not desperate to sell you anything. They're just making themselves available. This illustration can help us understand the difference. Now, this is really important with women because women are actually repelled by men who are too nice. And the reason for this is that when you're too nice, similarly, they can sense that you're doing so because you're trying to get something from them. You're actually putting their needs above your own potentially, and you don't even know them yet. It comes across as desperate for approval, like you're trying anything to win her affection because you need her to like you. But as you probably already know, women are not attracted to desperation. They're attracted to independence, strength, and confidence. This part should be obvious. So as a subtle difference, when you buy a girl a drink at a bar and you haven't even talked to her yet and you're just trying to do so in order to get her attention, that could come across as too nice because she hasn't offered you anything of value yet. You don't even know anything about her if she's even worth talking to. Contrast that to when you are hosting a party and some girls come over and you've never met them before and you offer them drinks because you're the host. You're doing this out of kindness. You're not doing it because you're trying to get them to talk to you or stick around or get their attention. You're just doing so because you're hosting a party. And generally this scenario is a lot more attractive. If you're a guy who hosts a lot of events, you might know how easy it is for you to connect with women when you're in that hosting role because you're acting from a position of kindness. This is super important, so I want to break it down a little bit further. Women are attracted to a man who has a sense of purpose. When you come across as too nice, it shows that your own goals and needs are less important than hers, and that's not attractive. She's not going to be attracted to somebody who's giving away his own goals and needs to a woman that he doesn't even know. It creates an imbalance in the power dynamic, and she loses respect for you because you're not firm in who you are as a man. On the other hand, when you're being kind, you're being clear about what you want. You're staying true to yourself, and you're willing to set boundaries and just be direct about what is important to you And when you do so, you show that you're a man of high value and you show her that you're a man worth pursuing. I'll give you an example. I was seeing a girl and we had made plans to go to a concert, and she really wanted to go to a specific concert. And we made all the plans, including buying the tickets and getting ready to go. And it was actually the day of the event. And I realized that I actually really didn't want to go to this show in part because there was another show that I just liked more with different artists that I like a lot better. And I realized that if I went to this concert with her, I wasn't going to show up in my true power, because I was going to be holding a bit of resentment that I wasn't doing the thing that I really wanted to do. And that would have been completely unfair because she wouldn't have even known that. And that would have been nice because I would have been accommodating her in what she wanted to do. But instead what I did is I went to her and I stated very clearly, I'm sorry, but I don't want to go to this concert. I'd like to do this instead. And I want to include you in those plans, and I'd love for you to join me. I stated it clearly. I made my intentions known. I did not apologize for the fact that I was changing the plans. And I just let that hang out there. And in the end, she ended up accepting the new invitation, and we had a fantastic time. And it brought us a lot closer as a result, because I was in my integrity and I was actually true to myself, and I was speaking with kindness, i.e. what is authentic for me, as opposed to being nice and trying to please her. And this brings me to another critical point. Women are attracted to a man who gives them a degree of challenge, okay? Attraction, for lack of a better word, is built upon, from a woman to a man, is built upon the guy being somewhat unavailable. Women are only going to want you if they feel like there is some challenge involved in obtaining you, because that signifies that you're of high value. And I don't mean challenging them in a negative way, like you make their life hard, but challenging them in a positive way, one that inspires growth. One that means that you're not just going to roll over and do everything for them, but you're going to push back and set appropriate boundaries if needed. If you agree with everything she says and does, that's not going to be very challenging. It's going to be boring for her. It could also involve setting a boundary for her. If a girl does something that you don't like, you need to call that out. Not in a frustrated, angry way, but in a way that simply communicates, hey, this behavior that you're doing is not acceptable to me, and I'm letting you know. And you just state it like that, and she has the option to comply with that or not. And then you have the option to decide how you're going to handle it in response to that. That is kind, because you're stating with clarity what you want. And this is an important element to her viewing you as a leader, which is the natural way that male-female relationships are structured. Women are naturally hypergamous. What this means is that a woman is biologically hardwired to seek a mate of equal or higher value to herself. All women look for this. And no, this is not just about money and status. This is about confidence, this is about purpose, and this is about your ability to lead a woman. If you're overly nice, then you're not satisfying her hypergamy because you're too eager to please her. You need to be kind instead, which is standing for what is important to you. It means taking care of yourself, taking care of your fitness, pursuing your purpose, pursuing your career, making sure that you're continuing to up-level yourself so that you can continue to demonstrate that you're of higher value to her. And in doing so, you will satisfy her hypergamy and you will be more attractive to her. Guys, it took me a long time to learn this, and I want to clarify one other thing for you. Being nice versus being kind often relates to the power dynamic between you and another woman. So in a dating context, you really want to avoid being too nice to a girl before you have started having sex with her. That's because if you are doing a lot of things prior to having sex, you're going to trigger all these things that I just talked about. She's not going to see you as high value because basically she's getting from you the benefits of being in a relationship with you without providing the sex. So she's going to start to think of you as a friend, and you're never going to sleep with her if you are too giving before you've entered a sexual relationship with her. Once you start having sex with her, you still need to be a little bit careful in the early stages of this, but over time, as you're taking care of her sexually, she will start to feel a lot more attachment to her, and then you can be more giving. Then some of the same activities that may have been considered nice and therefore less attractive earlier in the interaction will now be kind because you are in a stronger position of power than you were previously. So how do you make this shift and how do you start applying this in your life? Let's talk about a few action items that you can take on now. Number one, start with boundaries. Stop saying yes to things that you really want to say no to. If you need more help with this, see my video specifically on boundaries. But in short, anytime you feel yourself not wanting to do something, but tempted to say yes, say no instead. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to give the other person a reason. Just say no. Be in integrity with yourself. Trust me, this is very powerful. As you start to do this, you give yourself space to say yes to things that are actually more important to you and are really a fuck yes. Do not say yes to girls who are asking you for things that you are not sleeping with, because you are going to put yourself in a friend zone faster than you can believe. Number 2, be direct about what you want. It's okay to tell a girl what you want, that you think she's attractive, that the two of you should go out, what you would like from her sexually in bed, or what you'd like to do in the relationship, how you would like her to give to you. That's okay. That's being kind. It's being clear about what you want. A woman wants to satisfy a man, and she wants to know what his desires are and what his needs are. And when she views a man as being high value, she will do anything for you. So you want to be clear. You want to be stating what is important to you, to women, to the woman in your life, as a form of kindness to help get what you want and create a good dynamic within your relationship. And 3, keep working on yourself. Keep working on your fitness. Check out my video on fitness. Keep working on your career. Keep working on your purpose. When you create a lot of value in yourself, you are able to act with genuine care for others. This is how you start being the kind of man who commands respect, inspires loyalty from women, and lives life on your own terms. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. If you want my help in making this shift in your life and achieving amazing results with women and in all other aspects of your life, book a call with me through the link below. Let's set up a time to chat and see if working one-on-one with me is right for you.